Hello everyone, Frank here. Today I'm going to be looking at why I think PayPal will drop on this earnings report. I know it's a very bold prediction to try to predict earnings, but I have very good reasons to do so, and I've been testing this strategy for some time now, and I believe this one will work. But there is some concerns, and this is a risky play, and you should not take this as advice, but only information. This is definitely going to be a smaller play if I do choose to do so. So a lot of people are guessing PayPal is going to drop. We can see in the past couple of weeks we're really getting that move down, especially after some bad earnings reports, like on Monday with Netflix. So Netflix we're gonna talk about a little bit and what we've seen from there. So what we're seeing right now is just a long-term downtrend. I mean, we're down a lot from the all-time highs. I mean, this is $310. We're at 90 right now, but I still think we have a lot further to drop. I'm shooting for around the $60 range. I know it's a lot. We're trading at, I think, 5 times forward price to sales ratio. I believe so. So don't quote me on that one, but I'm more than sure on that. So, that's something to note, that we're still not cheap. But what I really don't like here is we're still very oversold. So, a big earnings dump could make us even more oversold, but maybe not to the point. Maybe it's going to peak. So, but I think this is definitely going to be one of their worst earnings yet. I'm going to show you guys why. So let's get into it. So to begin, we're going to look at Google search trends. So how many times people search PayPal. You can see so our last earnings report was, if we go to the earnings tab, was Q4 21. So we're going to look any date after, so 2022. So you can see 82, 83, 92, 80, and we're really getting into that 70s. Probably anything before April we're not going to see in this report. So 75, 76, we're seeing a couple of weeks of really weak searches here. I'm going to talk a little bit more on why that is. So just about from here, we're talking from here. So that it was strong to start out. But if you look at the past, I mean, we were always at that 8. We're at those 90s usually, 85. So, this is very, very weak for PayPal. So next is the second biggest branch is Venmo of PayPal as a company. So the worldwide, the past 12 months, we've been hovering. Let's just say, so we have to start always at our January. A lot of searches there, 73, 64. So we're calling those 60s. I mean, we're seeing in the past here around that, a little less, I would say. We're definitely this is definitely more of a jumpy one. I think we're definitely more in an uptrend here because these were 55s, but I still think that we're pretty low here. We definitely had that big dip here, which could definitely affect that, which I would like to see. So Venmo, I say mixed, but PayPal obviously is a clear downtrend. So, when you're choosing earnings, I mean, that's kind of a good gauge that their revenue was down. There wasn't as much web traffic. But, just because a company reports low revenue doesn't always mean it's going to go down in earnings. One of the key things is earnings per share. So if we go Earnings Whispers, the Earnings Whispered number is 90 cents. Their guidance last quarter, they reported bad guidance. That's what really ended up crashing the stock. Their last quarter, you could see, was bad guidance. So they guided down. Their consensus is about 88 cents per share, and the Earnings Whisper is 90 cents. So anything below 90 cents, we're more than likely to drop off because that's the Earnings Whisper number, and then $6.4 billion of revenue. So if we go to analyst estimates, the consensus EPS has been revised 1% lower over the last 30 days to the current level. As a reflection how the covering analysis have collectively reassessed their initial estimates over this period. The earnings report I forgot to mention is going to be on April 27th, 2022. And it's going to post a decline of 27% year over year. So that's one of the main things. But one reason I really like this right now is PayPal and Venmo to increase instant transfer fees. So why I really like this, and I think this is very interesting to the stock, is that they're not making as much money. And they're forced to with inflation or whatever reason their company right now is that they're just not making as much money as they used to. MasterCard is reporting tomorrow. I believe so. Date. My apologies. Let's see. I forgot to look this one up. So MasterCard is reporting April 28th. I'm incorrect on that one. My bad. So PayPal's going to report forth. I thought I seen this one on this Friday's earnings calendar. I know otherwise we have no fintech before then. So they have to raise their instant transfer fees. Oops. which means that they're not making as much money, that they're forced to do this, which means that we're more than likely to miss on revenue. This kind of backs up the less trends as they need more money for their customers. Next, something I found really interesting is PayPal shutting down all of its services in Russia, citing Ukraine aggression. So about 1% of the revenue is made up. So they didn't guide down from this Russia situation. So whatever they guided at, you're going to imagine that's going to be 1% lower now. Hypothetically speaking, if they meet their estimates, it's almost 100% they miss revenue. I will take a bet on that one. But then you have to think about EPS. And why we think EPS is going to go down is they're raising their prices, meaning they're not making as much money. This Seeking Alpha article is very interesting in my opinion. If we go here, measuring customer transactions, you can see there's still a lot of transactions in merchant services. So it can come in at 6.6 and beat the street's estimates. So that's what we're not shooting for, but we have reason to believe obviously it's going to go down. I'm trying to see the part. This is what I really liked was this is using Business Quant. I don't own a subscription, but this is active accounts. We're only decreasing. It's more than likely that we're going to be in this low range. So when they see they're losing accounts, like let's look at Netflix. Netflix dropped that 30% mainly because they're losing accounts. I think it's more than likely that PayPal's going to do the same thing. But what you have to see what's priced in is PayPal's rate dropped, like it's going to lose accounts. So you need to note that when you're making your analysis and choosing your prediction. I will not make this play until the maybe 2 days before earnings, a day before earnings. They lowered down, although currency is still low, are expected to rise as we further into 2022. I don't think that's going to happen because we have problems, like we said. Yeah, 12 times its monthly sales. So, I think this is a very interesting play that could be a possibility. This is very much, almost a YOLO because you're either going to you're going to make bank or you're going to get clapped. I can see this thing moving a lot, but I want to go to this page. If we go to the Analyze page, we can see their past 4 earnings reports have all been down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before that, they were all up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is, this is kind of interesting. Oh, it was actually down this one. Huh. So, 4 out of 5. So we've dropped a lot in the past couple of earnings. So we've been really beating Wall Street's estimates on EPS, I guess. Yeah. But I appreciate you all for watching and have a nice night. But just not something I would post. You're seeing implied volatility absolutely boost up here. So, just watch it. I mean, I think right now this is going to be a very easy play to catch. I think this is going to be a big mover. If you also look into the options chains, we're seeing large open interest and large volume onto these put orders. Not anything on the calls. So, you got to remember that a lot of people aren't bullish, it seems. If we look at the open interest, I mean, we can see a lot. And then we look at the call open interest. It's not interesting, yes. But that's my analysis. And thank you guys for all watching. Have a wonderful night. Peace.